you might not know where to find the American Riviera. Maybe you don't even know what a Riviera is, but should you? This weekend, we're spending time in Santa Barbara, nestled on California's central coast, and we're going to be exploring its beaches, town, and picturesque mountains to see if it lives up to its name, the American Riviera. Hell, even the Prince of England escaped his kingdom to come here and start a new life. So join us, and let's go see if it lives up to the hype. Riviera translates directly to coastline, but the reputation of the French and Italian Rivieras have elevated the definition to a coastline renowned for its stunning beaches, mountains, Mediterranean climate, maritime history, and beautiful seaside towns. So we started our investigation by visiting Santa Barbara's birthplace, the Spanish Mission. The first European contact with Santa Barbara was in the 1540s when a Spanish explorer sailed up the coast here between the Channel Islands and the coast of California, landed in Santa Barbara and made contact with the natives.
The mission was founded on December 4th, 1786, which is actually St. Barbara's feast day, which is why Santa Barbara is called Santa Barbara. I don't know if I've ever seen a pink church. It's really beautiful.
It's really cool. And I love the double bells you can see up there on both sides, nicely symmetrical.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Can you believe that this mission was rebuilt after being hit by a tsunami?
No, that's honestly crazy.
Like, the water is over there. It's pretty far away. Apparently a ship was carried half a mile up into this canyon here. You can see the mountains of the Saint Ynez mountains behind us. So it's got this beautiful mountainside, oceanside, picturesque setting. And I love this like white stucco or whatever it is. I wonder if the buildings that we see in Santa Barbara that are in this exact same style come from like wanting to match the mission. And you've got these arching palms as well. Look at all the arches here. 3 types of arches, 2 natural, 1 man-made. They all look pretty great. That's cool. The natives that were contacted in 1542 were called the Chumash. And so this mission is acknowledging that we are in the Chumash homeland, and that, you know, in the end it was devastating for the native populations like most European and native contacts. This is the Moorish Fountain and Indian Community Laundry. So I know I've heard of stories at other missions of natives working inside the mission. So I imagine this is where they did their laundry. Washing basin here, lavanderia. So now overgrown by weeds in the center here, but you can just imagine this was full of water. People were rinsing their clothes and wringing them out here on the side. You just saw the modern friar with a baseball cap. That was pretty cool. And also people lighting candles. So it seems like it's a museum and sort of historical site, but also still very much in use from the staff here, the monks, and also the prayers we were seeing out there in the park. It's cool to see it still in use and not just a relic of the past. The mission is a little more private when it comes to photography and videography, so we're not going to actually go inside and video that. We're going to respect that. There's also a cool rose garden right down the hill there in the park.
Okay, so Blue Weber agave, which is that sort of dusty blue color.
Right there?
Yep.
Cool.
That is the agave that is used to make tequila.
What is this thing? This is crazy.
That looks like probably the bud.
That looks like a giant asparagus.
It really does.
Downhill here of the mission is the Mission Historical Park.
This is elite level picnic.
This feels like Riviera.
Yeah, it really does.
Like
I mean, the umbrellas.
Fancy
that's
umbrellas,
very Riviera.
canvas chairs. The mission has this rose garden, which is amazing. You can just see bunches of different colors of roses all the way through. We're gonna walk through and enjoy this. Man, this is the good life here.
It really
Whoa, is
is.
this a kumquat tree? That's amazing. Check that out. You got kumquats. You notice that the kumquats are only around on the higher branches?
Yeah.
I wonder if people help themselves.
The red rose to end all red roses.
It's called the mood. These are like bachelorette roses.
Oh my goodness, they really are though. Makes sense that every bachelorette gets a rose because all of them are in the mood.
Are you on a reality TV show?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
do you
want to be on it too?
What?
You want to be on it too?
Oh, no, it's okay.
No? Okay.
What is the
No,
show?
we're not on any show.
I love that she thinks that we're reality TV hot. Like, that's a great compliment.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
We're going to get the mood roses.
That's
you know?
right. That's
Look at this little guy.
Oh my goodness.
He's so
Hi, honey.
cute. What's his name?
It's Roxy.
Roxy.
Oh my goodness, so soft.
Hi, sweet girl. Oh,
She's a Chihuahua poodle.
Really?
wow.
I've never heard of such a thing, but she is
She's
so sweet.
so
Thanks for
sweet.
letting us pet
Yeah,
her.
thank you.
Thanks for petting her.
Nice to meet you, Roxy.
Energized by Roxy, we went to explore Santa Barbara's coastline, or Riviera, to make sure we covered our bases. I'm gonna go in the water. Unlike the Mediterranean, the Pacific in California is a little cold, so wish me luck here. Let's give it a shot.
You're gonna need it.
This might literally be the American Riviera, because that was at least like 10 degrees warmer than up in the Bay Area. That was pretty nice. Right now it's mid-May, so I'm sure it gets a lot warmer. It feels like such a quintessential California beach. It just goes on forever. You can just see miles of coastline. You can see the cliffs, you can see the mountains. Damn, I love these little lifeguard huts. That honestly was not bad.
He goes in water wherever he can find it. If a puddle was 6 feet deep, he would jump into it.
A nice bike ride going north along the coastline brought with it seaside parks, vintage cars, and even some beaches tucked away from the main road. If you ever want a beach where you can be alone, we'd recommend 1,000 Step Beach, just north of downtown. I always talk about the 1,000 steps down to the beach, never the 1,000 steps back up.
I know.
I like how they planted the palms in threes.
Yeah.
These little triplets. Separate bike path, beach. Oh man, oh man. I like this place. That's what I'm talking about. Veterans Memorial Building right on the water.
Yes.
That is it. That's like Les Invalides in Paris.
That's
Premium location, beautiful building, beautiful view. Love that.
It's the least we can do.
And then let's put all the state capitals in the places that need help.
That's right.
Even the public bench has tiles.
We love tile.
This definitely has a distinct SoCal, Southern California flair to it. You won't find this at any other Riviera. Tall, skinny palms. It's pretty awesome. Nice. Usually when you're walking along the train tracks in a given town, it's a rough and sometimes dirty place, but apparently in Santa Barbara, they have these beautiful flowers. Mary just Google Lens them. What kind of flowers are these?
They're called the trumpet vine,
Ah.
but also some places in North America call it the cow itch vine.
We are in the funk zone here in Santa Barbara, which is like a little hip little area of Santa Barbara with all these coffee shops, these bars, terraces, beautiful sort of like murals everywhere. Check out all the darts on the wall there. They got this little window here where you can put in some sugar. This chai is really good.
Oh, want to trade sips?
Oh yeah, love the foam on the top.
Also, Trevor, it's your favorite. It's Strauss milk.
Strauss milk.
Yeah, they're not
I love
playing.
Strauss milk. Hey Strauss, if you want to sponsor us, I'll do it for basically free. I love Strauss milk. Glass bottle, cream on top.
So the other restaurant that shares a space with Dart is called Tiger. And this, the Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah, that car is sick. The license plate says Hollywood. Mary is obsessing over the wheels.
Those are some thick boys. Look at those white walls. Life is good, Santa Barbara.
Life is good.
Look at this place.
This feels very funk zone-esque. We got a coffee company out of a van, VW van, a little trailer. Every time we go to a new town, Mary tortures me by taking me into the local Bohemian women's store.
That is actually, that was a good example.
All
of
of
one.
them are pretty much the same, but
one
we
was
go
not.
into
That one was a
every
much
single
better
one
one.
of them. So it's a struggle.
Yes, it's usually like the same at all of these different like local urban outfitters, but that one is actually like a vintage shop and has a curated selection of very good items. So I would check out the shopkeeper.
It's like,
But-
oh, look, it's a different kind of candle. Wow.
Hey,
We settled our disagreement the best way we knew how. Biscuits at Helena Avenue Bakery. There was live music, these really unique chandeliers, and of course, a delicious biscuit breakfast sandwich that fueled us up for more of the area's art scene. Here's Albert Einstein on a bicycle, which apparently actually happened in Santa Barbara. That's pretty cool. It's a good mural. What do you think this was? Like a truck depot or something? Were they?
It looks like some kind of like grain loading
Yeah.
situation.
You're getting so old. That's great. That's
SMG. Hi, sweetie.
Hi guys.
Hi, how are you? This
Thank you.
your
Yeah,
studio?
So my studio's a little bit different in that it's a working studio,
Uh-huh.
but I also have retail. Obviously, I sell my work and the work of other artists.
Gotcha.
And I teach here.
Oh, that's very cool.
Very cool.
What's your name?
Barbara.
Barbara. I'm Trevor. Nice to meet you.
Trevor, nice to
We're
meet
just
you.
walking
Mary,
around town.
nice to meet
Was this like an old
It used to be a bakery.
a bakery?
Bakery.
Really? It almost looks like a truck depot or something, right?
Okay,
With the
so-
overhang and the.
Well, what would happen is the trucks would back up and
They just
stand
load it with
up,
bread.
and the trucks would- and then they'd load bread up.
Wow.
Oh,
That must have been a big
cool.
bakery.
It was
Yeah.
freaking a horrible bakery too, like Weber's. Most of the sculptures are done by Scott Gagliano. And yes, they are made, he makes a mold, but each one is hand poured and then he patinas it and then he makes the base. And you see like here's the different patina of that same figure.
Yeah.
He invented like his own concrete mixture that takes the patina really well.
Don't a lot of sculptors have someone else like patina their work?
A lot of people don't, they make the original, they don't make the mold, they don't cast it, they don't do anything. They just
Yeah.
do the original and they send it out to a foundry or to fabrication.
Yeah.
He does,
Every
this guy's the
step.
most blue collar, like when he's not making art, he's fixing my car.
That's so cool. Thanks so much.
Have a lovely
good one.
afternoon.
Have your wander.
Yeah, we
Thank
will.
you, will do.
Thank you.
Oh, I feel like this is like Japanese denim.
This is cool. Hi. How are you?
Hi. How you doing?
Welcome in. We have some beers. We have some wine.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a Saturday.
I
You
love
guys know how to
that.
get people on your side.
I love that.
Whoa. Made in California.
That is really cool.
Mr. Freedom. Is this a bird cage? Yeah, I like those. Yeah, I like that. That's
I
amazing.
love that.
Whoa. That was a nice place.
Great shop. They're like my ideal retail store where they really stand by what they have and they don't have 300 things. They have like 30 great things.
Yep. Yep.
Really, hats off.
This is a surf shop. That's such a cool mural. This like tube-shaped building. These little
Oh, that is cool too.
buildings going all around. Waterline. This looks like a bar, I think. That is neat.
Patagonia has a beer now. Perennial test beer.
Wow. More cool murals here. Various leaves. Tile archway, that's amazing. I love that. I'm a big fan of tile, as you've probably learned by now. Again, we got the mission style building, the white walls. We got the overhang with wooden beams supporting it and the terracotta roof tiles. And then we got mosaic tiles adorning the walls. Really beautiful style. I love that.
Wherever there's soil, like life is just exploding out of the ground. It's like they can't fit enough like life per square inch that they have it on like the buildings,
Yeah.
on the wires. It's amazing.
This is ripe for a mural.
Mm-hmm.
Check out this sweet train bench tile mural right next to the Amtrak. No shade on the US, but we don't really have the best train stations in the world.
No,
But this
definitely
is
not.
actually pretty beautiful. We've got like the Spanish Adobe style train station here. The Amtrak goes from Vancouver all the way to San Diego. You can even like, sleep overnight, take the sleeper train. You can pop out here in Santa Barbara. That'd be pretty sweet.
Another thing that's great is this is in the middle of town. A lot of times the train station is sort of in like a more distant area, far from downtown.
How's your hat doing?
I gotta ground it. It's windy, I'm not gonna lie.
Old Western California, Santa Barbara train depot. Oh, wow. Look at this. This is beautiful.
Whoa.
This is so old school. We got a guy in a sombrero wrangling some cattle. Nice tiles. You've got the Franciscans here, the missionaries that started some of these coastal towns, including Santa Barbara. This is cool. This is like a giant hat. So we are right here in Santa Barbara. You can take the Pacific Starlight from San Diego all the way through San Francisco, up all the way to Vancouver if you wanted to. There's also the California Zephyr, which goes from San Francisco to Chicago. So many cool routes. I feel like I have not taken the train enough in the US. But this station is, this is special. Old ticket booth. They got all these different pins of different Amtrak trains, different railroad
Union
museums.
Pacific, that reminds me of the depot in Cheyenne.
Yeah.
With all those.
Look at that. Get a little train on top.
And these old West depots.
You gotta pull.
I gotta say, when you said we were going to the train station to see a tree, I was like, I probably would have prioritized other things, but this
No.
ain't no tree. This is like grandmother
First of all,
Willow.
train station was off the charts.
Yeah,
so that's
very
1
cool.
point for me. And now we're gonna check out this giant tree. All this green here is one tree, and this is the Morton Bay fig tree. So you can see these, like, I don't know, bay figs
is
or something.
heavy
They're
with
really
figs.
interesting. I wonder if these are edible. The leaves look totally different from a classic fig tree. Look at that. That's like the tree of life.
Wow.
That thing is massive. If you see the leaves going back there, all the way around, this is one tree with giant roots. If you're in the funk zone by the train station, we'd recommend McConnell's for some great ice cream.
Okay, don't go crazy on it. We didn't last 12 hours without coming back. Like, that's how good this ice cream is.
I feel like time stopped when she fumbled the hazelnut scoop. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
That was it was tough. So yeah, McConnell's, very good. Throughout the day, we took breaks from exploring to play with our friend for the long weekend, Cosmo. Instead of paying for expensive hotels this weekend, we made a friend and house sat through trusted house sitters. At $169 a year, our membership has paid for itself many times over. Use our link in the description to find a sit or a sitter and help support this channel at no extra cost to you. We got a pro here. Knows exactly how to deal with the dogs. Thank you so much. After we tired Cosmo out, we went downtown for a walk in Alice Keck Park, which was full of exotic plants and these old educational tour boxes.
Here at Audio Post 4, there are 3 small box-leaf azalea trees growing in a row, starting about 10 feet to the left of the post.
Then, we admired some of the architecture in what we now knew was a Santa Barbara style, and were struck by the beauty of the county courthouse. Wow. Look at that. I love that tile surrounding the doorway there. Honestly, like, this is what public buildings should be. We should be absolutely inspired and just in awe of what we can build together when we create a public building. This building delivers on that 10,000 times over. You have the courthouse here, and then you look, swivel around, and you just see the Saint Ynez Mountains in the background. If you're a billionaire and you're listening to this, can you just take the money and build something like this? Something out of stone, something that's gonna last, something that is just beautiful, like we used to make buildings. You don't need to buy another app or another plane.
The fountain that you see here is actually a replica that was donated in 2011 by Dick Wolf and his wife, Noelle. If you've ever watched Law and Order, and then you hear, bum bum, executive producer, Dick Wolf. That's him. Maybe on the other side, how there was like the man, I thought it was Glaucus, because we see this other like fish iconography. Maybe it is
Maybe it is Glaucus.
Glaucus.
Check out the courthouse, not as a defendant, but check it out as a
Hey,
tourist.
whatever path you take, that's your journey. I'm gonna come as a tourist, so hopefully.
If you had to get sentenced somewhere, I'm just saying. We capped off the day at Handlebar Coffee, where Mary's company Golden Rule Spirits sponsored a welcome party for Rafa Cycling's Yomp Rally from Santa Barbara to LA, while I admired the Rivian trucks. The next morning, we started our day by visiting the mountains above town up close. We're here to check out Lizard's Mouth Rock. Apparently at the end of this trail there's a cool rock that, you guessed it, looks like a lizard. And we're taking Cosmo with us. Right, Cosmo?
Yeah. I think these are a kind of trillium. Wow, those are
These are really beautiful.
really gorgeous. I've never seen that color before.
Yeah.
Hi. Good
boy. Mountain climber. Here's mountain climber.
Mountain climber.
Woo!
Ooh,
He's got explosiveness.
he really does.
I'd love to see it.
You gotta do it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There he is. So during our time here in Santa Barbara, we're actually staying with someone through trusted house sitters, and we're watching their dog. So this is Cosmo. He's our tour guide for the weekend in Santa Barbara, and we get to stay in Santa Barbara for no extra cost, and we get to enjoy some time with the dog. So we have an affiliate link in the bottom description here. Give it a shot if you want to hang out with some dogs or cats and see some new places, because this is pretty amazing. On our way up, we actually saw Santa Cruz Island of the Channel Islands, which are right off the coast of Santa Barbara. Are we on it?
I actually wonder. That's why I want to check out over here.
I'm looking around for Lizard's Rock, and apparently I was standing right on it, right?
Right on it, yeah.
The circle of life.
Okay, this is as far as we're going, baby.
That's amazing.
So the thing that's so special about having the Saint Ynez Mountains here is a lot of times you have to choose mountains or ocean. But in Santa Barbara, you can have both. You can have your day by the beach, but then you can also take your dog or yourself into undisturbed wilderness and really get that time to unplug, and then go out at night and have a great meal and a cocktail if you want.
Having tired Cosmo out from so much jumping, we let him sleep at home while we went downtown to walk down State Street, where we enjoyed a blueberry tart from Lilac Patisserie. It's nice and firm. A lot of times I get these tarts, I take one bite and the whole thing falls apart. But I like how the lemon curd is like soft and buttery, but it all congeals together, and the blueberries give it a great sweet pop to that lemon tart. I'm a big lemon tart guy, so I'm happy about that.
Anywhere in the world, he's all over the lemon.
Well, State Street is just a joy to be on. It's all pedestrian zones. We're just walking up and down. Some amazing architecture. You can see over there, there's like an arch that's totally carved out of stone.
Yeah, look at that. San Marcos.
That's amazing. Wow. So this building right here, with that ceramic dome, the tile dome, that looks just like church we saw in Amalfi, same style. Like this is literally a back alley. There's like trash cans, but you've got these little pots on the walls, on this white, I don't know, I call them stucco walls, I don't know exactly. Look at that doorway. It's so cool, carved in like that. Mary checked out a little hat.
Yeah, it's just a little hat. It's also an umbrella.
One of the things that is very Riviera-esque here is like all the tile everywhere, different colored tile. Fly today. Some of the first early airplanes in American aviation were built here. John K. Northrop, I wonder if that's the Northrop Grumman person, you know, they make like military equipment now. Oh yeah, later known as Lockheed. Whoa.
Wow.
Okay. So this is where some of the ancestors of the American fighter jets started. Is this a joke when they said, although they were leading innovators in their field, business success eluded them? Something interesting about Santa Barbara is that President Ronald Reagan had a ranch. So there's a Reagan Ranch Center here that talks about his life. Fun fact is that my great uncle, who came to the United States after getting political asylum from communist Czechoslovakia, actually has and got a letter from addressed from Ronald Reagan, so probably someone from the presidential office, giving him asylum to the United States. So that's an interesting piece of family history that we have intertwined with that president. And so this is right when you come off the Amtrak. Right behind you, you got the Reagan Ranch Center, big American flag. Interesting piece. You know, people usually talk about how left-wing California is, but there's also a lot of history of people with a bunch of different ideas and people from around the world. You can see a lot of different things here. Later on, we got back on our bikes to explore the coastline, this time going south towards the town of Montecito, which is the home of Hollywood celebrities like Oprah and Prince Harry, because after all, a Riviera wouldn't be complete without some famous residents. but we were more excited about how nice the bike route was along the coastline. That is nice. This right here is a beach club. It's currently under renovation, but that is very Riviera. A little beach club right along the water. You got an ocean to swim in, but no. I want my own pool, little soft techno. So this is Montecito downtown. Little strip.
Got a few local wrecks, and a lot of them are here.
Yeah?
One of which is the restaurant Los Arroyos.
Oh yeah. That's a
Valet
Mexican place,
parking.
right?
Very nice. The Honor Bar is another one that was recommended.
Nice. We're not going to these, but someone recommend them. That should help. It's a beach access tunnel here. Also, no one in Montecito has time to pick this up. Not even me, I gotta act like a local. The underpass of Montecito. You're not gonna get content like this on National Geographic. No one's gonna show you the tunnel of Montecito. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Pretty nice. Love the Mediterranean. But the beaches are usually very rocky. Look at that perfect sand. You could take a nap on that sand. You don't have to bring like your little mattress for that sand. One element of the Riviera that we see in America and in Europe is these proper length swim shorts. Not like basketball shorts that you wear in the water.
I wasn't the only one excited to get in the water, but some preferred to stay glamorous.
Well, that's Charlie.
Charlie!
Hi, Charlie.
Charlie's just a little puffball.
Charlie.
For dinner, we headed to the public market. On the way, we stumbled into a nice hidden food court nearby. It was closed for the day, but if you visit, it looks like a great place to see. For an even wider selection, the public market has every type of food you could want. We had red curry at Empty Bowl restaurant, which we enjoyed so much we even came back the next day. For dessert, we stumbled on Lokum, a gorgeous Turkish specialty store, which had the most colorful display of Turkish delights I've ever seen. Spoiler alert, they were delicious.
The texture is very different than I was expecting. Rose and pistachio, I feel like that's something.
The rose floralness and the nuttiness of the toasted pistachio, it worked perfectly. It's so good. What do you think of State Street so far?
Well, I love that it's a pedestrian zone and that you can actually just walk down the street and everybody has space. I feel like we just sort of started, but it seems pretty lively without being overcrowded, which is a great pairing for me.
We thought over our Riviera weekend of mountains, beaches, and civilization over a nightcap, but there was still something missing. If you're going to call yourself a Riviera, and in this case the American Riviera, you have to have a certain air of dignity to you. So today we're going to check out Polo. Right here's a polo ball. We are at the Santa Barbara Polo Fields, and we're at the Lucid Motors Cup. It's not too expensive. We got tickets for $30 each. I've never seen polo in my life.
Me
I'm excited to see some horses and balls being hit around. And
Also speaking, look at how this has been absolutely beat to heck. Like,
yeah.
I imagine that it
comes
used
like
to be a
this, or-
sphere, but like there's been some impact on this.
Here are the polo horses. They're really interesting looking. They have braided tails and shaved manes. You used to work in a horse barn, right?
Mm-hmm. I've never seen a horse with a shaved mane, but I've never been around polo, so clearly
Yeah.
it's a different grooming
And
process.
why do you think they braid the tail?
Well, it keeps it out of the way.
Little stockings like soccer shin guards.
I really wonder like how nasty it gets. Like if they'd like,
Yeah, if it's like full contact.
yeah, if they'd like pull on the tail or
Huh.
something.
This is fascinating. I feel like I'm going to learn so much. I don't even know what the game rules are. Probably should look that up.
I know.
Woo! Whoa. Well, I've seen jets go over football stadiums, but that was way cooler.
Yeah, also, she was ripping
She was
it on
ripping
that
it.
horse. That was
Wow.
awesome.
All right, let's get to our seats, eh? Aperol's got a lock. We got a lock on all the Rivieras.
I think this is a go. I think that's a go. A go. Oh, we got through.
Man, strong thighs. I thought that rider was gonna slip. That happened to me once. Somebody told me they tightened my saddle. They didn't. I slid under the horse and almost got kicked in the head.
If they just chuck it forward, right, it's just a horse race. Whoever
Yeah.
gets to the ball first.
Yeah, that's. Oh, look at this little kid with this little teeny thing.
So it's halftime, and everyone's out on the field. I think you stomp the divots.
Yes, I have no idea. I'm just gonna watch other people and look at these.
Stomping divots.
Those divots have my name on them.
What is
I think
this?
they're giving out champagne.
What?
I have no. I
This
straight
is
up
unreal, man.
have no
Look at
idea.
this. Thank you. Champagne?
Thank you. Look at this one.
Oh, we're doing it right here. We're doing God's
That's
work.
right. That's right. You pay me in champagne.
Well,
I'll stomp whatever
cheers.
you need. Cheers.
We got all these mountains around us.
Yeah, it's just so nice.
The horses are hanging out at the edge of the field.
I'm sorry. I'm so focused on the grass because I'm just so committed. Divot. Not to undercut what the players are doing, but the horses are like legitimately amazing.
Yeah.
They're so fast and so agile, so
Sturdy.
well behaved for the fact that like the riders are just ramming them into other beats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Body checking each other. You're getting hit with balls like in the thigh.
Yeah, no, it's honestly
They're
no,
hardcore. That's Polo of the future. Every time a goal is scored, the teams change which goal they go after. There are 6 chuckers, which are like periods. So basically the game is split up into 6 chunks. They change horses all the time. It's like changing tires in Formula One or something
Honestly,
like that.
it's very much a sprinter sport, so it's really important to keep like fresh legs.
It makes sense that you have to be, well off to play this game, especially I'm sure back in the day, because in order to play polo, you need like 30 horses per team because you're constantly changing horses. And, having a horse back in the day meant you were of a certain status. Now imagine having 30 horses.
Yeah.
That is the ultimate flex, and they're just your toy horses. It's like having a garage full of Ferraris. If I could
Help
get
me
more
out.
subscribers, maybe we get a fleet of polo horses. After the game, they awarded the most valuable horse and gave the humans some trophies too, including the clear MVP, who was the only woman on the field. Only girl on the field got MVP.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty cool.
She was running show out there.
Yeah, she was crushing it.
She got MVP pants.
MVP pants.
So sick.
That's better than trophy. Well, if that doesn't seal the deal for the American Riviera, I don't know what does.
Yeah, it was sort of a clincher, I think.
Yeah. On our way out, polo player was asked by a lady, "How long have you been playing polo?" And he said, 4 generations. So there you have it, the American Riviera. Be sure to watch our next video, come on our next adventure, and subscribe to our channel. Ciao.
Ciao.